Good morning everyone, welcome back to another video. This morning we did the concreting in this small room, and before that I used the metal detector just to see if there was anything below the surface, which there wasn't. Just old bits of iron, nails, things like that. Things you'd expect to find below the ground in a basement, because this sort of soil in here was probably added as they were building the foundations up, because the foundations of this building are actually lower than this floor level. So all this earth's just been sort of flung in here, leveled off quite roughly. But yeah, no exciting discoveries. So I've sent Dad and Yanis home. What I essentially said is, if we get this finished, you can go home. And we call that job and knock. The job's done, you can knock off. So I've got a few more jobs to do today though, so I'm not going to be, I'm still going to be filming. Don't worry. I don't know what else to say. Yeah. So I didn't put a video out on Friday or Thursday, in fact. It's because I was sort of messing around with a printer, and then my brother was here and we were sort of playing with designs on the computer, and I just couldn't film it because it really wasn't that interesting. Or at least not interesting from my perspective. Even though it probably was. And then I was messing around with a big printer upstairs. So yeah, that's sort of working, but not quite. A few error codes, but I'll get that sorted, don't worry. It looks great in there. So the next stage for this, once it's dry in a couple of days, is to use an auto leveling cement. So it's very, very runny liquid, and you pour it in and it is literally the consistency of, let's say, like a gravy or a soup, and it just spreads out. Gravity does the rest. You just sort of make sure it's spread out evenly, and it falls into the low areas, and then the high areas stay high. But that's pretty good as it is, so I'm just doing it to get it spot on, because like I said, I'm probably going to tile that with the tomettes that we found, so it's nice to get it spot on. Otherwise, trying to lay them tomettes on an uneven surface will be quite difficult, and it will look bad. Yeah, so we'll do that in a couple of days. But yeah, I've got a few more jobs to do, so let's crack on with them. Oops. Nice. Wow. Down. So those steel galvanized grills are to stop large animals getting into the basement. And before we had doors to the basement, cats would make their way into the building. They'd find a bin bag with someone's old lunch in it, and they'd rip it open, help themselves, and leave a mess behind. So at least the doors and those mesh grills will prevent that, but also to stop people falling down, so it's really good. So you can see I've got all this cardboard down because it's been raining non-stop this morning, just to try and protect the floor from mud and concrete. And you can see there's a new drill, I've got a new tool to use, but we're not brave enough to use it yet. We're going to look at it for a few months, enjoy it, and then when we get brave enough, we'll use it. Because a lot of the Festool drills have been dropped, and yeah, they're not working as they should. Let's just say that. So we'll try something a bit more heavy duty. So what I really want to be doing is working on this library, but we can't do the last wall until the heating is installed, which should be in just over, I think, a couple of weeks. So I've paid for the installation, and yeah, there's not really much we can do in here, and I don't want to start upstairs until this is done. So that's why we're sort of doing odd jobs around the convent, especially in the basement. It's worth doing though, absolutely worth doing. So as soon as this is done, we can get the wall done, insulate the rest of it, plasterboard, and then continue the same upstairs. And we'll be sort of at the stage where we're waiting for windows. Windows always hold us up a little bit, and I do generally order them well in advance, but the people or the company that install them are really, really busy this time of year, so we're just at their mercy at the moment. But Paddy is working on the frames for the doors in here, so both sets of double doors. So as soon as they're done, we can put the doors in, which will make a huge difference as well. And once the heating's in, it will start sort of coming together, because I want to sort of get this library done, or at least finish this year. And what takes time is sort of like finances. Paying for everything takes time. Can't just pay for it all at once. So that's why these projects sort of drag on a little bit. If I had like endless buckets of money, it would all be done. But no, we're doing it mostly ourselves with Yanis and my dad and Simon and things like that, and then just paying for things slowly, one at a time, if that makes any sense. So what we'll probably start doing quite soon is, while we're sort of like waiting for things like windows, like I mentioned before, is probably start doing the flooring upstairs where the bedrooms are going. So where we cleared out, I would like to start putting in the subfloor and start running services up to them rooms as well. So that will make a big difference. As you go up there, you'll see a nice big flat floor rather than just this mess. So I would like to start that quite soon as well. And also in sort of like between sort of jobs, it's nice to continue where we've been doing the demolition in where the big fireplace is, where that partition that we removed, and the false ceiling. So it's nice to sort of do that as well. And come summertime, I want to continue with where the staircase is, and also start work on the pantry. So as we sort of work through the place, we'll get more done. And also at some point this year, I need to start the gallery in the chapel. I really want to get that done, just so it's done and out of the way, so I don't have to think about it. So that would be a really cool project. Stan has made the things for them, like the bits that go in the wall, so we can bolt the I-beam or RSJ to. So we'll have to install them at some point. But it's just getting everything level in there and perfect. So my main focus is this library and sort of dining room. Dining room is at a really, really good stage where all we need are windows and we can finish it. So that would be amazing once the windows are fitted. It means that we can finish all of the plastering in there and then start the flooring, which will be fantastic. And this room will be at that stage as well at some point soon. So yeah, things are coming together. It's just like waiting and trying to make the most of our time, if that makes sense. So yeah, I look forward to this library being done, as well as the dining room, and seeing what we can do with that staircase will be good fun as well. And some bedrooms. We need some bedrooms here. And I think once we've sort of finished on this ground floor of this main part of the building, I think we'll just sort of like, it will just start really coming together at that point, and it will just be fantastic. So that's it for today, everyone. Thank you so much for watching. Back at it tomorrow. So see you then.